Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
Kansas City, Missouri's river market is where the city first learned how to move goods, money and ambition. You're only blocks from the Missouri River, and that matters. Before highways, before rail yards, before arenas, this river was the entry point. Steamboats docked nearby in the mid-19th century, unloading cargo that moved straight into warehouses along these streets. That is not poetic exaggeration. This district was built for trade. The city market opened in 1857 and has operated here ever since, making it one of the oldest continuously running public markets in the Midwest. The long open-air sheds were designed for function, not charm. Farmers backed in, unloaded produce, and sold directly to customers. Wide aisles allowed movement. Permanent storefronts along the edges handled year-round business. Look at the buildings around you. Brick walls, tall windows, narrow frontages. Upper floors once stored wholesale goods or housed small offices tied to distribution networks. Kansas City grew because this corridor connected river freight to rail expansion heading west. This was infrastructure at street level. When river commerce declined and trucking reshaped logistics, the district lost its original dominance. Many American cities erased areas like this. Kansas City did not. Instead, these warehouses were repurposed. Loft apartments moved into upper floors, restaurants and specialty shops replaced bulk storage. The skeleton stayed intact, the function evolved. The Arabia Steamboat Museum sits just east of here, and even if you're not focusing on it, its presence reinforces the story. It houses cargo recovered from a steamboat that sank in 1856. That ship never reached its destination, yet its preserved inventory now anchors this neighborhood's identity. The river story is not theoretical here, it's tangible. The modern river market operates on multiple layers at once. Farmers still bring produce from Missouri and Kansas. International grocers line nearby streets, reflecting newer immigrant communities. Coffee shops and small restaurants fill ground floors that once held dry goods and hardware. You can feel the shift from wholesale economy to neighborhood economy within a few steps. The KC streetcars run directly through this district, connecting it to downtown and the Power and Light district. That link has accelerated residential growth. Former warehouses now house people who live where merchants once stored freight. The street grid, built for 19th century foot traffic, now supports 21st century urban living. What makes the river market compelling is not nostalgia, it is structure. The street pattern still follows commercial logic from the 1800s. The scale still favours pedestrians. Even Independence Avenue just to the south reflects how transportation corridors shaped expansion outward. Kansas City often gets defined by sport or barbecue, but this is where the economic foundation was laid. The river market shows you the mechanics of growth. River access, rail transfer, wholesale distribution, reinvention through adaptive reuse. As you walk these blocks, you're not just in a food district, you're inside the original engine of Kansas City's rise. The skyline may sit further south now, but the original story remains here in brick, steel and street layouts. The river market is not an accessory to the city, it's a starting point.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.